Welcome to City Music Stories. Here we visit a city somewhere on Earth and look at two musical artists associated with that city. Until requests come for repeating artists, I'm focusing on how the artists got their big break. That might be their first single or their first recorded work. This series is driven by comments, so leave a comment for future videos. Let's get ready to travel now. Today we are going to East Los Angeles, California, USA. This city and one of the artists came from a comment by my YouTube friend Max Washington Songs, and he does a lot of really cool original music and things like that. Check him out, there's a link in the description. Max has been awesome, commenting lots of cities and artists, and there's going to be a whole lot to come from Max. So be like Max and leave me a comment, put me to work, give me an idea for a city or an artist, and I'll get to work on it. The artist that Max suggested for this video is Los Lobos, and it was on me to come up with a second pick. So I found this old band, Cannibal and the Headhunters. Let's get started by taking a visit to East LA. East Los Angeles, Este de Los Angeles, or East LA, is an unincorporated area in Los Angeles County, California. As of the 2020 census, it had a population of 118,000. The area is notable for its high Hispanic proportion, which is at over 95%. It's the highest proportion of Hispanic Americans out of any city or census-designated place in the United States outside of Puerto Rico. Being somewhat central to the greater Los Angeles area, East LA is near many tourist destinations, and you have access to all of LA if you visit there. This tourist site shows some things specific to East LA and then expands outward. I want to take a moment and thank my patrons because their contributions each month really make these videos possible. Yeah, you might see ads on here, but the ads don't do as well as Patreon does. If you like supporting indie creators like me, please consider it. It's as little as $1 per month, and you can pay $3 and $5 for some extra perks and things. I've been sharing weekly videos of live music performances, and that is a lot of fun because live music is happening again outside the city where I live. I'm getting lots and lots of video, and it's going on Patreon. Los Lobos is an American band from East Los Angeles, California. Their music is influenced by rock and roll, Tex-Mex, country, zydeco, folk, R&B, blues, brown-eyed soul, and traditional music such as cumbia, boleros, and norteños. The band gained international stardom in 1987 when their version of Richie Valens' La Bamba topped the charts in the US, the UK, and several other countries. Vocalist and guitarist David Hidalgo and drummer Louis Perez met at Garfield High School in East Los Angeles. They bonded over their mutual affinity for musical acts such as Fairport Convention, Randy Newman, and Ry Cooder. Perez recalls, "We're looking at each other. You like this stuff? I thought I was the only weird one. So I went over to his house one day for about a year, and we spent listening to records, playing guitars, and starting to write songs. The two borrowed reel-to-reel recorders from a friend and created multi-track recordings of music spanning from parody songs to free-form jazz." Their first album, Los Lobos del Este de Los Angeles, was recorded at two studios in Hollywood in 1977 over a period of about 4 months. The album title translated is Just Another Band from East LA. It was self-released by the band in early 1978 and features mostly traditional songs. The album was recorded live to 16-track and represented the band's live repertoire at the time, which included their original song Flor de Huevo, an instrumental written by guitarist David Hidalgo. The album was reissued on CD in 2000 by Hollywood Records and included a bonus track. There wasn't necessarily a single from this album, so I'm going to look at the first song here, El Canelo. Unfortunately, I can't play any of the song due to copyright, and I'll mention this particular video in just a moment. Looking for some song reviews on the song, what I mainly found were reviews for the album. So here's one giving the album a 3.9 out of 5 from 13 ratings. And here's a note about the album by band member Louis Perez. It was a real good record. There's probably about 2,500 or 3,000, most of them sold around California. And a quick note about this video. The band was on the TV show Sesame Street, and that's a children's TV show. And they actually performed this song, El Canelo. And there are links in the description if you want to check that out. As we move on to our next artist, if you have an idea for an artist or a city, please let me know in the comments. Cannibal and the Headhunters were an American rock band from East Los Angeles, California, United States. They were one of the first Mexican-American groups to have a national hit record, Land of a Thousand Dances, recorded on the Rampart label. They were the opening act on the Beatles' second American tour, backed up by the King Curtis Band. Their version of Land of a Thousand Dances was a cover version of the original Chris Kenner tune. The record reached number 30 in the Billboard Hot 100 chart in early 1965. Wilson Pickett recorded the song into a national hit for himself in 1967, also using the Na 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 lyric. And I have to say, I wasn't sure that I'd ever heard this band, but if you've heard much early 60s, mid-60s rock, you have heard this song. Some more about the band. On May 7, 1965, Cannibal and the Headhunters played a concert with the Rolling Stones, the Beach Boys, the Righteous Brothers, and Marty Robbins in Birmingham, Alabama at Legion Field. 3 months later, Paul McCartney requested that Garcia and his group join the Beatles tour, August 15 through August 31, 1965, at Shea Stadium, New York, and at the Hollywood Bowl, California. The story of Cannibal and the Headhunters is nothing short of a Cinderella story. 4 teenage Chicanos from public housing projects form a group, and within a year have a national hit record and are touring with the greatest pop group in history, the Beatles. Unfortunately, this is another song I can't include in this video due to copyright, so here's some more information about it. The song that became Cannibal and the Headhunters' ticket to the big time was Land of a Thousand Dances. It was an obscure record by Chris Kenner, who had previously had a national hit with I Like It Like That. Land of a Thousand Dances, which was written by Fats Domino and Chris Kenner, was very popular in East LA and was performed by many local bands. Here's a review of the song. With Land of a Thousand Dances, LA's Cannibal and the Headhunters had one of the great party hits of the 60s. It hit number 30 on the charts and inspired one of Wilson Pickett's finest covers. The group never followed it up with any hits, but their album, 1965's Land of a Thousand Dances on Rampart, is a lost classic, one of the strongest you're likely to hear from a mid-60s party band. Here's a review for the song, 4.33 out of 5 from 3 ratings. Thank you for watching along with me as I talked about these 2 artists. If you have an idea for an artist or a city, please let me know in the comments. I'll see you next time.